Today, we are going to recap a manhwa called I Am the Final Boss. Chapter 1. The story begins when a game called The Will of the Earth transmigrated into the real world. Monsters and NPCs from different factions arrived simultaneously, and the world fell into peril. Fortunately, every human became a player, starting as a novice with newfound powers to combat the monsters. Our protagonist, Xia Ye, a 21-year-old student, also found himself transformed into a player. A status window promptly appeared before him. He excitedly began experimenting with the status screen, clicking everything, but the system remained unresponsive. Growing anxious, he repeatedly pressed various elements on the status window. Finally, the system notifies him that the character creation has failed, and he is being forcibly ejected by the system. Xia Ye then realized he couldn't equip any items. Even trying to pick up a simple tree branch resulted in a warning, indicating he couldn't equip the item. His attempts at physical activities, like push-ups, yielded no experience or leveling up. He couldn't even access his own attribute board. In this perilous new game world, a regular human stood no chance, and Xia Yi sank into despair. Unexpectedly, Xia Yi casually accepts the situation and moves on quickly, reasoning that he can't change it, and needs to find a safe place to hide and figure out how to survive. He soon discovers that his item bag is intact, though it contains only HP and mana potions. Considering his predicament, Xia Yi decides to team up with other players and head for a safe zone. Unbeknownst to him, the sky above turns red, with dark energy swirling around. Moments later, a loud sound grabs his attention, and he looks up to see a burst of powerful energy covered in lightning striking the ground, obliterating everything in its vicinity. In the distance, a man appears to anticipate this energy burst, muttering about the arrival of the apocalypse. Back at the scene, Xia Yi miraculously survives the explosion, now hiding behind a wall. From the smoke, a dark shadow emerges, and he suspects it might be a formidable boss. Moments later, the shadow transforms into a stunning demon-like woman, introducing herself as Belial, the leader of the Heavenly Kings, a level 97 demon race leader, and an S-class demon. Xia Yi is shocked to learn that the woman who fell from the sky is an S-class demon. He can't believe it but quickly changes his mood, taking a picture of the beautiful demon while admiring her attractive figure. Meanwhile, Belial surveys the area, mentioning her difficulty in remembering the roads. However, she recognizes a boutique store and believes she's in the right place. She discusses her anticipation of the demon lord's descent in the area and pulls out a drawing of him, admiring his handsome features. She seems to be smitten with the demon lord and eagerly awaits his arrival. Due to the earlier explosion, a few onlookers gather to see Belial, the demon race leader. They swarm around her, blocking her view and annoying her. In response, she decides to unleash a wide area attack, utilizing a level 27 skill known as Absolute Territory. Instantly, a powerful explosion with massive energy and thunderbolts radiates from her, resulting in the instantaneous demise of everyone in the vicinity. Witnessing the shocking event, Xia Yi is left utterly speechless. He quickly hides behind the wall, realizing that he needs to make a hasty escape. However, Belial notices someone lurking behind the wall and inquires, "Who's there? How did you survive my attack?" Meanwhile, on the other side of the wall, Xia Yi is trembling and trying to stifle his sobs, all the while discreetly taking a selfie of himself. He believes that this might be his last moment on Earth, capturing it for some unknown reason. Chapter 2. Suddenly, a strong beam of light passed through near Xia Yi and directly attacked Belial. Belial quickly noticed it, and it seemed like she was familiar with this attack. Belial quickly jumped away to dodge the attack. She was startled and recognized the attacker as Roland Lan. This guy's name is Roland. He is a level 101 Moses High Priest and is humanity's strongest, holding the title of humanity's hope. Belial then asked him what he was doing here. Roland replied that he was here to anticipate the descent of the newly born demon lord and to kill him. Roland contemplated if he was now in the right place. Although the prophecy showed him the place, he was not sure if this was the place. Upon surveying the area, Roland also noticed the boutique store and confirmed that this was the place without a doubt. Belial grew furious, vowing never to let anyone harm her beloved demon lord. With a high leap, she attacked Roland, who effortlessly blocked her, taunting her in the process. Despite her ferocious attacks, none of them found their mark. After a powerful strike from Belial, Roland decided to summon his sword and engage her in a proper battle. They duked it out while Xia Ye remained hidden behind the rock wall, wondering what was happening and feeling extremely frightened. After a prolonged fight, Belial's HP dropped significantly, and she asked Roland, "Do you think your tricks can defeat me?" Suddenly, she burst with excitement, thinking she might soon meet the demon lord. Her health bar returned to 80% due to this development. A warning sign appeared, indicating that Belial was now entering Phase 2, with a 20% boost in attack power and uncontrollable rage. She leaped high again to attack Roland. Meanwhile, Roland pondered what to do, knowing that the fate of the earth hung in the balance. Fortunately, Roland still had an ace up his sleeve. While Belial launched an attack on him, he suddenly shoved a picture in Belial's face, which she quickly recognized as a picture of her beloved idol, the Demon Lord. She became smitten and distracted. Seizing the opportunity, Roland kicked her in the face. Belial was sent flying near the rock wall where Xia Ye was hiding. This startled Xia Ye, and his heart raced. Belial tried to regain her composure, but upon seeing the destroyed picture, she became both sad and furious, teetering on the verge of going berserk again. Accidentally, she noticed a guy sitting near the rock wall, and Xia Ye realized he had been discovered. Panic washed over him, making him appear as though he'd aged 20 years in a matter of seconds. However, Belial recognized him and was overjoyed to see him, warmly greeting the Demon Lord. But since Belial was distracted, Roland wasted no time, releasing his ultimate attack, slicing Belial in half and splattering blood onto Xia Ye's face. Unaware that someone was hiding behind the rock wall, Roland casually strolled past it, checking Belial's body. He remarked, "You are worthy of being one of the 7 kings of the demon race. You've even forced me into such a dangerous situation." In a hurry, he set up a trap to compensate for his low HP, stating that even if the Demon King were to arrive, the moment the Demon King triggered the trap, he would be easily defeated. Then he laughed maniacally, but as he turned around, he spotted someone sitting behind the rock wall and quickly realized it was the Demon Lord. His face turned pale, and he immediately activated his skill. Perception level 23, but it failed. He then activated another skill. Skill enhancement level 39, increasing his perception skill to level 39. He used the perception skill again on Xia Ye, which this time succeeded. However, he couldn't determine Xia Ye's level, as it was beyond his limit and undetectable. Roland deduced that the person in front of him had a 4-digit level, making him very anxious. Even in his perfect condition, with a level of only 101, he knew he could never defeat the Demon Lord. Suddenly, Xia Ye stood up, causing Roland to go on high alert and prepare for a fight. As Xia Ye wiped the blood from his face, Roland entered panic mode, believing it was all over for him. To his surprise, Xia Ye offered him an HP potion that could heal 50 points of health. Roland was shocked and confused by what was happening. Xia Ye explained that Roland's health was perilously low, and that he should drink the HP potion to help him recover. Chapter 3. In another city, the fusion between Earth and the gaming world now spans 30% of the planet's surface. Those humans who've awakened as players are bravely battling monsters and leveling up. The city is under the guidance of NPCs who arrived from the gaming world, aiding new players in mastering their skills and helping them grow. A man inquires about Roland's progress to his subordinate. The subordinate reports that the formidable boss monster Belial has been vanquished. If they succeed in defeating the newly born Demon King, victory will be assured. They express full confidence in Master Roland, assuring the man that there's no need to worry about anything. In the meantime, Roland hesitates to accept the potion offered by Xia Ye. His pallid face reflects the dire state of his health, with his HP dangerously low. Xia Ye asks him if he's not planning to drink the HP potion. In Roland's mind, The thought of seeking revenge for his men crosses his thoughts. He suspects that the potion offered might be poison, and he contemplates if Xia Ye is playing with him. He acknowledges that while Xia Ye could easily kill him, the offer of the potion might be a way to prevent him from dying too easily. Realizing that he might perish if he refuses, Roland decides to take action. He casts a series of buffs on himself, enhancing his poison resistance, health, magic defense, willpower, attributes, and luck. With newfound courage, he drinks the potion with all his might, only to be startled when the system alerts him that his HP has increased by 50. Feeling deceived, Roland exclaims, "You scared me, you despicable demon king!" However, before he can finish his sentence, Xia Ye interrupts and points out that at least Roland managed to escape death, indicating his dangerously low HP. In response, Roland asks Xia Ye, "What do you want?" Xia Ye replies, "I have a question. How can I reach the nearest beginner safe zone?" Roland responds with a puzzled expression, not entirely grasping the concept of a beginner zone. Xia Ye explains that it's a place where low-level players with weak combat skills can practice and improve. In Roland's mind, he suspects that Xia Ye's intentions might be to harm these inexperienced players while they're still vulnerable, reinforcing his view of Xia Ye as a despicable demon. To ensure his own safety, Roland decides to lead Xia Ye to the nearest safe zone. As they walk, he can't help but worry about the new players, while Xia Ye follows along happily, expressing gratitude for the help. Suddenly, a monster pounces on them and launches an attack. Roland swiftly draws his sword and dispatches the creature with a single, precise strike. Moments later, he realizes that a horde of level 42 monsters is converging on them. At level 101, Roland effortlessly eliminates each monster with a single blow, executing a flawless combo attack to finish them off. Xia Ye is amazed by Roland's swordsmanship and cheers him on. A monster attempts to attack Xia Ye, but he panics and rushes toward Roland for help. Roland promptly employs his skill, Explosive Sword, slicing the monster in half, which explodes afterward. In Roland's thoughts, he notices that the Demon King remains unfazed, his confidence unwavering, no matter how vicious the monster's attacks become. After a while, Roland requests Xia Ye to release him, as he's unable to move, and his HP has been reduced by 50 points. As Roland and Xia Ye continue their journey toward the safe zone, another pack of wolves suddenly attacks them. Once again, Roland skillfully fends off the assailants, with Xia Ye looking on with an innocent and admiring expression. Xia Ye cheers Roland on, remarking that his newfound friend is incredibly cool and expressing a desire to be just like him. Moments later, they finally reach the safe zone, and Xia Ye is taken aback. He can hardly believe his eyes as he realizes that the safe zone is none other than his school, Sungqian University. Chapter 4. Meanwhile, in the demon realm, a group of demons discusses the recent failure and demise of Belial. A female demon suggests sending someone else to meet the newly born demon lord. However, their predicament lies in the fact that only Belial had seen the demon lord's appearance in the prophetic dream. The white-haired demon, known as Seven Kings Babylon, a level 102 demon leader, raises the concern of how they will find the demon lord now that Belial is gone. In that moment, another demon calms the group, stating that Belial had left them a clue before her departure. She presents a picture of the demon lord, asserting that possessing this image would enable them to identify the demon lord. Babylon adds that, according to the information, Roland killed Belial and departed from the demon lord's birthplace. He is en route to the warehouse safe zone, accompanied by an unknown individual. Mammon deduces that this person might be the demon lord. Babylon further reveals that the informant sent a picture of the person's appearance, which they examine. Mammon concludes that the individual in the picture does not resemble the demon lord, ensuring them that the demon lord is not in Roland's custody and is safe elsewhere. Meanwhile, Xia Ye appears elated and enthusiastic to have reached the safe zone. A large crowd gathers at the entrance, forming a queue to enter the safe zone. Unbeknownst to Xia Ye, the entire university serves as an elaborate trap for all demons. The safe zone is fortified by the gods and equipped with a system device known as the Bolt Steel, capable of neutralizing all monster abilities. Regardless of their power, monsters become helpless and easy to subdue. In the lobby, an NPC recognizes Roland, expressing how honored they are to meet him. Roland casually dismisses the significance of his identity, laughing it off. The NPC adds that they heard Roland prevented the birth of the Demon King by stifling him in the cradle, inquiring about the outcome. Roland's expression shifts to one of horror, fearing that everything will crumble if Xia Ye discovers his plan. With an anxious and frightened look, Roland abruptly instructs the NPC to cease speaking. Xia Ye, while receiving documents from the NPCs, overhears the conversation and marvels at the idea of Roland being such a person, expressing admiration. One of the NPCs asks Xia Ye if he isn't aware of Roland, emphasizing that Roland Li is the hope of mankind. According to the prophecy, he is destined to lead the players in slaying the Demon Lord. Another NPC informs Roland that the bolt steel has been completed in the safe zone. The NPC inquires if Roland is familiar with the bolt steel, the one capable of sealing. Before the NPC can finish, Roland attempts to interrupt, restraining the NPC and demanding they refrain from further discussion. Roland then escorts Xia Ye to the safe zone area. Xia Ye aspires to be like his big brother Roland, admiring his strength and kindness. Roland, on the other hand, is thrilled to be one step closer to vanquishing the Demon Lord. As Xia Ye steps towards the barrier, Roland smirks to himself, anticipating that victory for mankind is only one step away. Growing impatient, Roland pushes Xia Ye inside and exclaims, "Feel the immense power of the system!" Confused, Xia Ye questions this assertion, prompting Roland to realize, to his dismay, that nothing is happening, and he demands an explanation. Noting that the bolt steel has cracked and is on the brink of explosion, Roland acknowledges that Xia Ye is an entity even the system cannot contain. Xia Ye remarks on the power of the system, expressing a grim smile, reassuring himself that the safe zone, guarded by the system, ensures safety once inside. Roland, perturbed by this, interrogates Xia Ye about his next move, just as a massive explosion suddenly ensues. Chapter 5. The NPCs and human players were shocked by a sudden explosion, assuming they were under attack. NPCs reassured everyone, attributing the disturbance to server lag. They reminded the players of their safety within the zone, protected by the system. They mentioned the presence of their powerful hero, Roland Li, to boost their morale. On the other hand, Roland is devastated, realizing the immense power gap between him and Xia Ye. He's terrified by the sight of Xia Ye bending the system's bolt steel into the shape of a heart, leaving him bleeding and hopeless. He wishes for humanity's surrender. Depressed and demotivated, Roland is comforted by Xia Ye, who reassures him about the lag. Encouraging Roland, Xia Ye emphasizes his importance as humanity's hope, adding that this is just the beginning of the game. Angrily, Roland demands to know what Xia Ye wants, urging him to speak plainly. Misunderstanding, Xia Ye interprets it as a request for missions and rewards. He asks for Roland's help in acquiring production skills to survive in the safe zone. Xia Ye, with friendly enthusiasm, asks Roland if he's willing to lead the players in conquering the Demon Lord. He shares his personal dream of becoming a hero, despite feeling slightly discouraged by an account issue. Encouraged by their fateful encounter, he resolves not to give up and seeks Roland's guidance to pursue the production route, believing it's the key to his success. Roland, taken aback, finds the concept of the Demon Lord quite strange. Later, Roland takes Xia Ye to meet the production skills NPC. There, Xia Ye learns that the production skill won't bring him wealth. Instead, it will drain his funds. He displays his account balance of 13 gold coins, leaving the NPCs astounded. Typically, new players would only have 10 silver coins after several hours of hunting, making Xia Ye's wealth exceptional. The male NPC apologizes and playfully addresses Xia Ye as boss, while the female NPC emphasizes the importance of following the rules, refusing to offer special treatment based on his wealth. She elaborates that despite having sufficient funds for learning, rapid proficiency improvement requires more resources. Without enhancing his production skills, generating profits would be difficult. With the recent merger of the two worlds and limited resources, everyone is essentially a newbie, facing scarcity. The male NPC advises Xia Ye to invest in equipment for a quick level boost with his ample funds. Despite this, Xia Ye modestly explains his commitment to the production skills path. He then turns to Roland, inquiring if there are alternative solutions. Fortunately, Roland offers him some money, mentioning he had brought some along. Gratefully, Xia Ye accepts, expressing his reluctance to borrow from Roland. To their disappointment, the female NPC deems the money insufficient. Xia Ye glances at Roland once more, who attempts to sell his clothing worth 48.7 gold. Despite his efforts, it remains inadequate. He adds his sword to the offer, yet the sum falls short. Stripped down to his underwear, the situation remains unchanged. Finally, in frustration, Roland removes even his underwear and, in anguish, curses, "Damn demon lord! You took everything from me!" The female NPC reiterates the insufficiency of the funds, explaining the low value of starting production skills compared to combat skills. The male NPC inquires about Xia Ye's valuable watch, to which Xia Ye sentimentalizes it as his father's gift of adulthood. This revelation drives Roland to a point of despair. Curious, the female NPC questions Roland's benevolence towards Xia Ye, wondering if he sees potential in him. Xia Ye responds, sharing that he expressed his aspirations to become a hero and seek Roland's support, never expecting such profound generosity. He finds it deeply touching. Chapter 6. After dealing with the NPCs, Xia Ye walks around the city, realizing that simply surviving in this new world is no longer an easy task. He considers himself lucky to have a good starting point, despite having the misfortune of encountering an account abnormality. Currently, he possesses a considerable amount of 680 gold coins and 23 silvers, with his inventory filled with handmade action figures. He decides to take a bus to reach his next destination. Upon arrival, he is amazed at how tall the building is. This structure is called the Team Assembly Hall, where players form parties to hunt monsters and gain experience. Inside the building, Xia Ye overhears other players discussing a high-level party consisting of level 15 players, with their captain being a former professional player. The team captain is Qin Haoren, an apprentice rogue at level 16 and the second in the combat power ranking. One team member suggests adding another player to their group to expedite hunting high-level monsters. This lady is named Lu Jiu, an apprentice gunner at level 15. The captain responds that adding one more player would mean dividing the experience among the group, slowing down their leveling progress. While the captain is talking, another member appears. A gloomy girl with a hoodie named Lu, an apprentice assassin whose level is hidden. The team captain explains that efficiency is crucial, stating that any member hindering the team's progress will be kicked out. He adds that the girl he is holding is his sister, Xiao, an apprentice priest at level 16. Upon leaving, Qin Haoren receives a notification. Xia Ye is requesting to join their party. He initially declines, thinking there's a fool trying to cling to him. However, Xia Ye sends him another request. He became annoyed and declined it again, but Xia Ye reluctantly sent him a spam request to join their group, and he declined them each time. Suddenly, a trade notification popped up, and he got curious about what this guy could offer him, so he accepted the trade request. He was surprised when he saw what Xia Ye was trading him. He couldn't believe that someone was willing to give him 10 gold coins for free. After working hard to level up and grind, he had only managed to save up 2 gold coins and 57 silvers. He asked himself, how is this possible? He was overwhelmed because these 10 gold coins were enough to learn all combat skills, equip a high-quality set of armor, and level up 5 times faster. He was in utter shock, unable to believe that someone would be willing to give him 10 gold coins. Finally, he excitedly accepted the trade offer with all his might. He was so happy that he had really received the 10 gold coins and danced with the face of a monkey. His team members were all confused and asked him what had happened. While rejoicing, he received another notification. Xia Ye was requesting to join his team. He smiled and accepted the request. They met with Xia Ye, and Xiao wanted them to accompany him to his old house to retrieve something very important to him. Xia Ye explained that his place was now surrounded by level 18 monsters. Lu Jiu responded that they were busy going for the rankings and didn't have time to help him. The captain interrupted him and asked Lu Jiu, "When did you become so heartless?" He also stated that for a professional team to go further, love efficiency is the most important, and accepted the mission. Lu Jiu replied with shock on her face, saying, "Who are you?" Chapter 7. After discussing the commission, Xia Ye left to address the money issue. He recalled the lady NPC's advice that to make money, he should visit the merchant NPC at the trading center building. Inside the trading center, a variety of items were being sold. Among them were the mole's tail, E-grade item, Slime's underwear, E-grade item, and the low-level skeleton soldier's pinky, D-grade item. These items were inexpensive and considered junk. a guy stepped forward, attempting to sell his helmet. The NPC remarked that he had some good equipment, and the guy inquired about the selling price. Proudly, the NPC responded, 1 silver and 20 copper. The guy considered it a cheap offer, sold some items for a total of 43 copper, and lamented his inability to unlock skills due to money issues. He left the building, visibly upset, catching Xia Ye's attention. Approaching the NPC, Xia Ye informed him that he had items to sell. The NPC instructed him to place them on the table for inspection. Upon examination, the NPC was shocked by what he saw. Holy Seal's Edge had a sell price of 78.8 gold, Dragon Hood at 48.7 gold, Silk Panties of Atlantis at 3.4 gold, and Lee Family's Heirloom Watch at 141.66 gold. He exclaimed that they were all S-grade items. Seconds later, he realized he had seen these items before. They were all Lord Roland's equipment. Xia Ye interrupted, revealing more items, a black lingerie and a pair of horns. He asked the NPC for their potential selling prices. The NPC stated that the items were unidentified and needed appraisal. With an appraisal skill level of 99, the NPC shocked everyone with the results. Devil's Horn, a material for cooking and crafting, had a sell price of 6 gold and 50 silver. The black lingerie turned out to be Beelzebub's chest cloth, an S-grade cloth armor, with a sell price of 340 gold coins. Overhearing players criticize the NPC for undervaluing their items, he explained that some clothes were more valuable when thinner, emphasizing the fabric's softness, lightweight, and a mix of sweet and salty aroma. The NPC increased the selling price to 680 gold coins, calling it a super rare item. Despite the NPC advising against it, Xia Ye insisted on selling both items. In a successful transaction, Xia Ye gained 955 gold and 60 silver. As expected, the lingerie and Devil's Horn were reclaimed by the system, resulting in a significant loss for the merchant NPC. Xia Ye left the building with a happy expression. Heading to the production skill building, Xia Ye upgraded his cooking proficiency until receiving a notification that his cooking skill reached the max level. When asked about his progress by the production NPC, Xia Ye replied that it was full. The NPC warned him to prepare for the intermediate level, but Xia Ye, with a determined mindset, mentioned that even the master level skills were already full, indicating he had achieved the maximum level. The NPC's shocked face appeared again. Xia Ye, now full of inspiration and determination, disregarded the account abnormality, focusing on his goal to help defeat the Demon King. Chapter 8. Meanwhile, Lu Jiu is asking their team captain why he would accept such a mission while their team is at the top of the rankings. Qin Haoran turns to her and shows her his status window. Lu Jiu is shocked to see that their captain has so much money. Could it be that the weak-looking guy gave you all his gold coins? Lu Jiu deduces that Xia Ye has a treasure he wants to retrieve, which is why he is willing to pay a huge amount of money to get it. The captain replies, "That's right," with an excited expression, confirming it must be an extraordinary treasure. The captain announces that he will kill Xia Ye and take his treasure, asking his team members if there is no objection to his plans. Lu Jiu and Enlu express no objection and agree with the captain's plans. One girl in the group is against their plan, but the captain disregards her opinion. Moments later, they arrive at their destination. The captain asks Xia Ye if this is the place. Xia Ye replies, "That's right, this is the place, and I live on the 6th floor of this apartment building." The captain assures him that he doesn't need to worry, although the monsters here are of a higher level than them. His team is professional, and they will keep him safe. Inside the building, the priest girl feels something is wrong from the moment they entered. Unbeknownst to them, the building has turned into a level 25 dungeon. Moments later, they finally arrive at Xia Ye's apartment, room 606. He gives thanks to the group and says they are reliable. The captain, with a grin, tells Xia Ye to hurry up and get his stuff. But when Xia Ye tries to open the door to his apartment, the captain suddenly appears behind him, attempting to backstab him. Luckily, a giant mutated sewer rat jumps on the captain, forcing him to stop his attack on Xia Ye and quickly dodge the giant rat. The giant rat creates a huge impact on the floor, making a big hole. After the attack, Xia Ye is missing. Realizing this, they are shocked that Xia Ye has fallen into the hole. The captain has a devilish smile, announcing that boss Xia Ye is going to fall, and Lu quickly jumps into the hole, saying she will save him. The captain calls out to her, but it's too late, saying it's not necessary. Lu Jiu calls out to their captain, stating that they are in big trouble, as the giant sewer rat is preparing to attack them again. Chapter 9. The captain is confused about how level 22 A-rank monster appeared there. Lu Jiu explains that, in general, 3 players can barely kill an A-rank monster of the same level. However, their problem is that the monster is 6 levels higher than them. They can still try to fight it, but it's risky, and the treasure they are trying to steal is right in front of them. Lu Jiu suggests that they have wasted too much time with no gain and recommends stopping now and retreating. The captain notices something is wrong with the monster. The giant rat seems to be looking for something. The giant rat growls so loud, saying that he can smell the scent of the Lord Demon King. He looks left and right for the Demon King and finally realizes that the Demon King has fallen. While Xia Ye is falling, he gets teary-eyed and asks himself if he is going to die. He hopes that he can awaken some kind of new system, but seconds later, he hits the ground. Not only does he not die, but he also does not suffer any injury. He also obtains the title, Fallen Boy. While Xia Ye is contemplating what to do, there are 3 sets of red eyes lurking in the darkness. Xia Ye decides to wait for the other players to come save him. Suddenly, 3 rats excitedly jump on Xia Ye. They all recognize him as the Demon Lord and can't wait to greet him. They are full of love and excitement for the Demon Lord. But before reaching Xia Ye, an attack comes from nowhere, hitting them and killing them off. From the darkness, someone comes out saying, "Don't be afraid." Xia Ye looks at the person and realizes it's Enlu. Enlu says it's dangerous around here, be careful. Enlu checks the surroundings where Xia Ye fell down. She says there's an air wall blocking the path, so they can't go up from there, and they need to find another way back. Xia Ye points to his right side, suggesting they try using the stairs over there. Enlu says that Xia Ye should lead the way. Xia Ye agrees to lead the way and tells her to protect him. While walking, Enlu grins with a devilish smile, stating that all men are foolish creatures. According to her, by displaying a bit of cuteness, they readily expose their vulnerability without any defense. On the other hand, Xia Ye opens his inventory, taking out something, while suddenly Enlu jumps towards Xia Ye, activating the assassin's skill Backstab level 1. Xia Ye suddenly turns around, offering a roasted chicken to Enlu, and Enlu accidentally hits the roasted chicken with her Backstab skill. She is so shocked that Xia Ye blocks her attack with only 1 roasted chicken, asking, "What's going on? I don't understand." Xia Ye explains that he did a lot to improve his production skills and notices that Enlu's HP isn't full, so he wants to give her the chicken to restore her HP. Enlu suddenly backs away, leaving Xia Ye confused about her actions. Enlu is trying to assess the situation, stating that there is something wrong with Xia Ye. He looks like a weak dwarf, but he's got 10 gold coins and cooking skills. She concludes that this man must have some huge secret. She adds she must be careful about the chicken, as it might be laced with poison. Some kind of poison that will make you like a puppet if you eat it, and do whatever the poisoner wants. She strengthens her will not to eat it, but suddenly she takes a bite of the chicken as she cannot hold herself back from eating it. Xia Ye asks if it is good, but it's too late, she has already eaten the chicken. Moments later, some kind of transformation happens to her. Her level goes up from level 16 to level 21, all of her skills improve too, and her career advancement is unlocked, directly obtaining the assassin class. After eating the chicken and experiencing a career advancement, Enlu is thinking that as a professional assassin, she swore to pursue the strongest players, and this person in front of her is definitely more powerful than the idiot Qin Haoren. She thinks that even 4 Qin Haorens cannot be compared to Xia Ye. Suddenly, Enlu bows her head and swears loyalty to Xia Ye, vowing that she will become his subordinate from now on. Xia Ye is startled by her actions. Xia Ye can't believe that she is willing to give herself up for a roasted chicken. He thought she was a weird child. Xia Ye suggests that they hurry up to regroup and just wanted her to protect him. That is why he gives her a chicken to restore her HP. Enlu, confused, replies, "Protect you?" Xia Ye responds in a cool manner, saying, "Yeah, after all, I'm your boss." Enlu is temporarily shocked by this and stops walking, quietly answering Xia Ye, "I understand. I'll protect you, Lord Xia Ye," with a smitten look on her face. Chapter 10. Meanwhile, on the other side, Qin Haoren executed a sneak attack on the giant mutated sewer rat, inflicting minor damage. Surprisingly, the giant rat collapsed to the ground, refusing to rise again. Overwhelmed with remorse for hurting its beloved Lord Demon King, the giant rat believed it didn't deserve to live. Consequently, it chose to end its life by biting its tongue, dealing a self-inflicted damage of 6,850 and succumbing instantly. The captain, astonished, couldn't believe he had dispatched the rat with just a single strike. The lady priest, observing the captain's achievement, pointed out that he had jumped 6 levels after defeating an A-rank monster. She marveled at the prowess of a true professional player. Qin Haoren acquired the legendary title, Peerless Powerhouse, and promptly equipped it. With the title equipped, he gained bonus stats, a 3% increase in HP, a 3% boost in attack, and a 3% enhancement in defense. Encouraged by his newfound title, the captain felt invigorated, envisioning himself as the main character, MC, in this dystopian world. Despite the lady priest expressing discomfort in their surroundings, the captain remained unperturbed. His morale soared, confident that he could dispatch even a level 22 elite monster with a single strike, claiming he had nothing to fear. However, as the captain boasted, the lady priest, visibly shaken, warned him of a looming threat behind him. Before the captain could react, a giant cat unleashed a powerful blow, slamming him into the apartment wall and reducing his HP by half. The demon cat unleashed its skill, Howl Level 1, targeting Lu Jiao and the lady priest. The force of the impact sent them hurtling into the wall, causing both to sustain substantial damage, with more than half of their HP depleted. Observing the dire situation, the lady priest remarked that encountering an alpha-rank monster was typically confined to specific field raids and dungeons. She questioned how one had appeared before them. The lady priest went on to explain that the building they were in had transformed into a dungeon, offering a plausible reason for the presence of a level 22 elite monster. Lu Jiao concurred, acknowledging the unusual circumstances. Qin Haoren took out a beginner's HP potion, restoring 50 points to his HP. He then informed the others that he would draw the monster's attention and create an opportunity for them to retreat. However, before he could complete his sentence, the demon cat attacked him again, striking him in the face and inflicting a significant reduction in his HP. Hurriedly, he requested the lady priest to heal him. Responding swiftly, the lady priest employed her healing skill, restoring 144 HP to Qin Haoren, stabilizing his condition. Before Qin Haoren could regain his footing, the demon cat loomed above him, casting a chilling gaze before resuming its relentless assault. The cat played with him like a mouse, and though the lady priest continuously healed him, the relentless attacks continued. Qin Haoren became a resilient sandbag, refusing to succumb due to the continuous healing. After enduring a relentless beating, the cat finally ceased its assault, allowing Qin Haoren a momentary respite with only 1% of his HP remaining. At this point, he pleaded with the lady priest not to heal him, expressing a desire for the beating to end. Suddenly, Lu Jiao reappeared, asserting that a level 35 alpha monster couldn't be defeated by 5 players of the same level. The lady priest concurred and requested that Lu Jiao cover the captain's retreat. To her dismay, Lu Jiao had already distanced herself, prompting the lady priest to ask why she had run so far. Lu Jiao apologized, stating that they formed a team to win, not to die together. Meanwhile, Qin Haoren feigned death, with the demon cat aware of his ruse and attempting to finish him off. Unexpectedly, Xia Ye arrived, calling out to Bao Bao. The demon cat transformed into an ordinary, cute cat, responding with a meow. Rushing towards Xia Ye, the cat was promptly adopted as Xia Ye's pet. A notification popped up, indicating that Xia Ye had obtained his pet cat, Bao Bao, at level 1. Xia Ye, clearly elated, played with his long-lost pet, while Qin Haoren and the lady priest stood in shock, unable to comprehend the unfolding events. Unbeknownst to them, the cat cast a sinister gaze at the lady priest and the captain, instilling fear as they realized that the dungeon's alpha was Xia Ye's pet all along. Chapter 11. Meanwhile, inside Xia Ye's apartment, Xia Ye searches for cat food to feed his cat. In the distance, Qin Haoren realizes that, although his plan has failed, at least he is still alive. He points out that Xia Ye appears to be a weakling, but he didn't expect that Xia Ye's pet would be the dungeon boss. The captain adds that Xia Ye's secret is valuable, and keeping him alive will benefit them in the future. He then praises Lu for a job well done. He tells Enlu to come near him so he can give him a hug as a reward. Enlu starts walking towards him, but suddenly attacks him and Lu Jiu using her assassin skills. This causes them to take significant damage and bleed. Enlu warns them that if they dare to think about killing Lord Xia Ye again, they're dead. Qin Haoren asks Enlu what she is doing, and Enlu angrily replies, "How dare you ask?" She unleashes a skill with 9 consecutive stabs, repeating the action again and again. With a menacing face, Enlu tells them that they don't know what kind of person they are targeting. Xia Ye appears and announces that he has retrieved his stuff, suggesting that they can go back now. Enlu asks, "What stuff?" Xia Ye embarrassingly replies, "It's my cat," explaining that the cat wasn't by his side before the world changed, and he wanted to find him no matter what. Enlu realizes that the treasure is actually the cat. She suddenly bows her head and declares that they will be his colleagues from now on. Xia Ye states that he will treat the injured immediately and go back to the city as soon as possible. However, seconds later, Xia Ye discovers the situation of Qin Haoren and Lu Jiu lying and bleeding on the ground, shocking him. He asks what happened. Enlu explains that she saw them seriously injured and wanted to help them end their suffering. This revelation confuses Xia Ye. The lady priest is having a hard time healing them. She mentions that the bleeding is too fast, and her healing cannot keep up. If this continues, they will die, on the brink of death. Qin Haoren expresses regret for his actions that caused all this to happen, perhaps due to his ignorance. Suddenly, Xia Ye talks to them and suggests that he can try to heal them. They are confused by what Xia Ye said, asking, "What? Give it a try?" Xia Ye says to let him check them, maybe he can still save them. Thanks for joining me on this recap video. If you liked it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more exciting JockJut manhwa videos. Your support fuels my passion. Until next time, ciao. Chapter 12. Xia Ye reached into his inventory, retrieving a grade A item called the Ghost Striped Cloth Bandage. This first aid skill item is designed to restore 36,500 HP over 8 seconds. The revelation left both Qin Haoren and Lu Jiu in shock. They couldn't fathom that Xia Ye possessed such a rare and valuable item. The first aid skill is notoriously costly to upgrade in the early stages, particularly in comparison to other production skills. It involves crafting bandages from fabric. In the low to mid-level stages, the healing capacity of one bandage can rival that of 5 spells of the same level. The Ghost Striped Cloth Bandage can even heal a level 80 tank warrior, but the scarcity of fabric in the early stages discourages many from investing resources in upgrading their first aid skills. Xia Ye proceeded to explain that, given his limited abilities, prioritizing survival led him to upgrade his first aid skill. He expressed his surprise at how useful it had become in their current predicament. Qin Haoren, contemplating Xia Ye's capabilities, was filled with regret for planning to betray him. He acknowledged his own foolishness and felt ashamed, almost wanting to cry. Xia Ye's potential to easily give out 10 gold coins and turns the dungeon boss into his pet left Qin Haoren in awe. Enlu initially opposed the idea of healing their buddies, but a realization dawned on her. If they recovered, she could relish the pleasure of killing them again. A devilish aura enveloped her as she smiled with anticipation, eager for the moment they were healed. Feeling scared, Qin Haoren and Lu Jiu hesitated to accept healing. Xia Ye insisted, ready to begin the process. Inquiring whether they truly deserved such an expensive treatment, Qin Haoren questioned Xia Ye's decision. With a solemn expression, Xia Ye emphasized the paramount importance of human life in this world, asserting that he couldn't abandon them. Touched by this sentiment, Qin Haoren called Xia Ye his boss and declared his desire to be his son in the next life. Seconds later, a notification window popped up on Qin Haoren's screen. Apparently, Xia Ye was requesting a trade offer. Xia Ye told them that he originally didn't want to accept payment, but since they insisted, he wouldn't refuse. After the trade, both Qin Haoren and Lu Jiu left with nothing. Everything was taken by Xia Ye, and he laughed excitedly. Xia Ye reassured them not to worry anymore, stating that since he had taken their money, he would not let them die on his watch. Xia Ye started to use the Ghost Striped Cloth Bandage on Qin Haoren. The bandage enveloped Qin Haoren's body, and he was reborn with a new soul, experiencing the greatest warm embrace and overwhelming happiness. However, the system disrupted this by reminding them that Xia Ye took all their money. Qin Haoren quickly dismissed the thought, stating it was their destiny. Moments later, a notification popped up, indicating that all three of them had increased their level by 5, and a career advancement was achieved. They realized that not only were they healed, but they also obtained new bodies and new classes. They were shocked to discover that the ghost striped cloth bandage was, in fact, a modifier. They bowed their heads to Xia Ye, swearing their loyalty towards him. Xia Ye didn't mind it, as it was just a small favor for him. However, he reminded them that the ghost striped cloth bandages were worth 30 gold per roll, so they needed to pay him back later when they had the money, with an interest rate of 35% per year. Upon hearing this, Unlu loved the idea and was smitten again by the demon lord who destroyed his enemies through a loan shark technique. Chapter 13. In the morning, their party exits the apartment building, and a notification window pops up, stating that they cleared the Lijiang apartment dungeon and obtained 50,000 EXP. A world system notification also informs all players that the Lijiang apartment dungeon has been cleared by Qin Haoren, Lu Jiu, Xiao Yuan, Unlu, and Xia Ye. Moments later, Xia Ye suddenly realizes that the building they just exited was a replica of his apartment. Xia Ye is traumatized by this fact and doesn't know what to do. Meanwhile, Roland also receives the notification about the first clear dungeon and shows his trademark confusing expression, asking if the demon lord cleared his own dungeon. While walking, Xia Ye and the others proudly strolled down the streets, and some onlookers praised them. People murmur about how they raided the dungeon beyond level 10. One bystander recognizes Qin Haoren as the pro gamer who has dominated countless MMORPGs. Another person remarks, "Look above his head, he's got this title Peerless Powerhouse, worthy of being the WCG champion." Upon hearing this, Qin Haoren stops walking and talks to them, saying they are quite knowledgeable. However, he emphasizes that it wasn't him who cleared the dungeon, it's thanks to my big brother. Before he can finish his sentence, a loud voice echoes in the area saying, "Congratulations!" And Lu startles and asks, "Who is it?" They see a guy panting in front of them. It's Roland. He thinks that once again, he saves the world. He almost came late, and if Qin Haoren had slipped and let the people know about the Demon King's disguise, everyone present would have been instantly killed. He then officially congratulates them on behalf of Sky City. Xia Ye calls out to him, but he ignores him. Suddenly, Roland uses his whip to bind the 4 people in the party, except Xia Ye. He requests that these 4 people come with him to receive their medals. The audience murmurs, wondering why only 4. Xia Ye is also confused about this and concludes that he is their client, so he doesn't really count as a member of the group. After arriving at the destination, Roland punches the wall near Qin Haoren, intimidating him, saying, "You talk so much, do you want to die?" Qin Haoren is scared and confused about his actions, thinking about the humanity's hope having such an attitude. Chapter 14. Roland warns them that Xia Ye is not a simple person. Lu Jiu asks Roland if he knows why Xia Ye can't reveal his level and class. "Is this guy hiding something?" Roland replies, "No, he's not hiding his level and class, it's just that he's not a player at all." The group is shocked by this revelation. Qin Haoren is confused and asks what Roland meant by "not a player." Suddenly, Unlu answers them and says, "A demon." Lu Jiu is startled by this and asks Unlu to repeat what she had said. Unlu smirks and informs them that Xia Ye might be a high-level demon, given the kind of power he currently displays. Roland is impressed by Unlu's wisdom. He confesses to them that Unlu's deduction is correct, but Xia Ye is 1,000 times more terrifying than an ordinary high-level demon. His real identity is, in fact, the Demon King. All 3 of them are in shock about the news, but Unlu somewhat expected it to some degree. Roland then further explains the situation, revealing that Xia Ye disguised himself as a rookie with bug status. He tells them that, in order to prevent something terrible from happening, they have to play along with Xia Ye. If they needlessly expose and anger him, it's highly likely Xia Ye will cause destruction. Roland points out that the 4 of them are currently holding ranks 1 to 4 on the leaderboard. Somewhat like him, the hope of humanity. Roland asks Qin Haoren if they can collaborate and wait for the chance to kill Xia Ye together. Qin Haoren accepts the offer, shaking Roland's hand and stating that victory will be theirs. Moments later, Roland bids farewell and tells them to keep everything a secret, assuring them that they will protect the world. With Roland now gone, Lu Jiu expresses her opinion on the matter, stating that she didn't expect it to be like this. She also asks their captain, Qin Haoren, if he is really going to work with Roland against Xia Ye. Qin Haoren responds that it's a lie, he's just deceiving the NPC. Qin Haoren adds that, As a pro, his instinct tells him that no one in this world can defeat Xia Ye. He should not seek death and make Xia Ye his enemy. Qin Haoren quotes his motto that if you can't beat them, you need to join them. Lu Jiu agrees, as their goal is to win, like KD. Qin Haoren asks the other two about their decision. And Lu replies that if they really want to party with Lord Xia Ye, there's no harm in doing so. Qin Haoren warns Lu that the next time he attacks her teammates, he will fight back. Finally, they finish their conversation and decide to become villains together. Chapter 15. In the next scene, a man asks his subordinate if it is true that some player team has cleared the Li Jing apartment dungeon. The subordinate says yes and comments on how humans are resilient in climbing the leaderboard to get a higher ranking. The general is pleased and looks forward to the day they defeat the Demon King. The subordinate also sends his report to the general, indicating both good and bad news. Let's start with the good news. Lord Roland is back. The bad news is that Lord Roland has brought back the Demon King. This news leaves the general speechless and in shock. He asks his subordinate why Roland brought him here, questioning whether Roland seeks excitement. The subordinate replies that, according to Lord Roland, the Demon King was not born as a baby but as a teenager. This unexpected news shocks the general. The subordinate tells the general to go to the communication room as Lord Roland is on his way to explain the details in person. In the lobby, the attendant calls on Rolandly, stating the room is ready. Inside the communication room, Roland's face is filled with seriousness. One person asks him what's going on with the Demon King he brought back. Roland replies that the Demon King is much more dangerous than they expected. He twisted the bolt rod into the shape of a heart without even lifting a finger. Even the system artifacts couldn't restrain him. He's too powerful. Another person asks Roland about the purpose of the Demon King coming along with him. Roland replies that, from his observation, the Demon King wants him to help disguise and infiltrate humanity. Another guy asks Roland on what the purpose of the Demon King for trying to infiltrate the human race. Rolandly replies he got some few guesses on what the Demon King is up to. The people in the communication room praise him for his intelligence and the true hope of mankind. Then Roland told them that the Demon King's purpose is to dismantle the human political system and alliances, effortlessly destroying mankind. Roland added that when he met the Demon Lord earlier, the latter was in the process of corrupting our top-ranking players. He boasted that, with his quick action, he successfully prevented the Demon Lord's plan from reaching fruition and reached an agreement for that team to cooperate with the player society. One guy commented that to achieve the Demon Lord's goal, he even cleared his own dungeon. He's so evil. Suddenly, another guy spoke and said, I wonder if there's a possibility that the Demon King actually has amnesia and doesn't know his true identity? Everyone looked at him and asked, What did you say? Chapter 16. One of them states, That's impossible. Are you trying to suggest that it's just a coincidence that he bent the bolt rod, brainwashed the strongest team, and cleared his own dungeon? Roland replies to the guy, You're cute and naive. The guy apologizes, asking to pretend he didn't say anything. With a serious look, Roland cuts short the argument, stating that they don't have the power to fight the Demon King right now. He will wait for them to arrive on Earth, and once human players have improved their levels, they can find a chance to kill the Demon King. Until then, he will be responsible for keeping the Demon King at bay. The people in the communication rooms bid him farewell, expressing that they are counting on him and sending good luck for the future of mankind. Meanwhile, Xia Ye lies on a beautiful and soft bed in her newly acquired mansion. Since it's still the early stage of the game, the prices of buildings are not yet high. That's why she was able to buy a large house right in the middle of the safe zone. However, he realized that he couldn't just do nothing and decided to save money while waiting for the prices of the properties he bought to rise. Because he was a newbie and had no ability to engage in combat, he needed to find a way to earn money. Shortly after, he opened his inventory, filled with roasted chicken, ghost-striped cloth bandages, and Belial's eggs. Xia Ye is contemplating what to do. Option 1. He can earn a commission by utilizing his production skills. Option 2. Collecting items and selling them with his gathering skills. Option 3. Selling his existing items for money. Suddenly it hits him, and he decides to choose option 3, selling Belial's egg. Xia Ye also realizes that he can sell the horn and the clothes for a good price. Feeling excited, Xia Ye suddenly trips and falls, and the egg cracks on the spot. His face turns pale, and his blood pressure rises, thinking that it will lose its value. He quickly uses a ghost-striped cloth bandage to prevent further damage. praying that it will be okay until tomorrow so he can sell it, and hoping for no more cracks. Then he decides to order food and take a shower. While Xia Ye is in the shower, the egg hatches on its own. Apparently, a female demon is born from it, and it's Belial but in a smaller form. She remembers the fight with Roland before dying. She smirks and murmurs to herself that she will find the Demon King. Moments later, she feels a presence around her. That's when she sees Bao Bao, and she freezes in shock. Chapter 17. Moments later, Belial recognized Bao Bao and questioned, "Why are you here?" Bao Bao, surprised by this, asked, "Do you know me?" Belial replied that she had seen Bao Bao in her dreams. She explained that in her dream, a being showed her a prophecy: the two worlds would merge, and the Demon King would lead an army to destroy mankind. In her dream, Bao Bao was the closest to the Lord Demon King and the great demon who commanded all demon beasts. Bao Bao became intrigued by Belial's story. Belial continued, stating that the prophecy in her dream revealed the birthplace of the Demon King. Upon waking up, she waited to meet the Demon King. While waiting, she lived her life as a vagrant to avoid pursuit by Sky City and Rolandly. However, she lamented that she was later ambushed by Rolandly at the supposed birthplace of the Lord Demon King. Suddenly, she urged Bao Bao to swiftly go and save the Lord Demon King. Bao Bao responded, saying there's no need to save the Demon King. He explained that the Demon King is not at the beginner level, nor is he in the swaddled baby state. He doesn't need our protection. Bao Bao added that not only that, but his current rank is also at least around 4 digits. Belial, shocked by this, couldn't believe it. Bao Bao advised Belial not to look further into it, stating that it's just a mess. However, Belial got curious and asked about Bao Bao's status. Bao Bao replied that his current level is only a disguise. The Lord Demon King has established a link with him, and levels don't mean anything to him anymore. Belial, confused and surprised by this, sought clarification, asking about the link. "Are you trying to say you can now borrow the power of the Demon King?" Bao Bao told Belial that when the Demon King found him, he was only at level 35. However, the Demon King cared for him deeply, providing food, petting him, and over the years, their bond grew naturally, far surpassing Belial's. Belial was incredibly jealous upon learning this revelation. Bao Bao added that there was one more thing he needed to tell Belial. The Demon King had decided to infiltrate the human race, and they were now undercover. Belial, puzzled, asked, "Undercover? Do you mean to infiltrate the human race and destroy their political systems and alliances?" Bao Bao responded, "Don't guess, his goal is not just to destroy the world." Hearing this, Belial was once again captivated by the Demon King. Praising him for choosing the cruelest way to destroy mankind, Bao Bao reminded Belial that they needed to cooperate with the Demon King, pretending to be weak and inexperienced to avoid exposing the Demon King and undermining his plans. Belial quickly agreed, excitedly. Bao Bao concluded, "That's it for now." After studying Belial, he remarked, "You don't look very smart, you sound crazy. But if the Demon Lord saved you from the humans, he must have had a plan." Moments later, a sudden voice came from the bathroom. "Bao Bao, I seem to hear someone talking." Suddenly, Xia Ye appeared while wiping his hair with a towel. Chapter 18. Xia Ye noticed Bao Bao engaged in conversation with someone. Upon closer inspection, he observed a petite woman. Belial greeted him, saying, "Master, you're back." Xia Ye wondered if this woman had emerged from the egg he had been examining. His excitement grew as he analyzed the item's quality, this size, this persona, and the ability to move, laugh, and talk. Surely, such a creation would fetch a significant sum of money. Belial explained to Xia Ye that she was the pet of a wild boss he had encountered earlier, a boss that had been slain by Rolandly. Seconds later, Belial asked Xia Ye for her clothes. Xia Ye quickly replied that they had already been sold. Belial, in search of the horns that symbolized her nobility, received the same response: they had also been sold. Xia Ye reassured Belial not to worry too much since she, too, would be sold later, rendering her current state inconsequential. Upon hearing this, Belial was devastated, on the verge of tears. Recalling Bao Bao's words about the Demon King having plans to save her, Belial couldn't help but think it was all for the sake of money. The notion of being sold off to humans saddened her deeply. However, a sudden excitement overcame her at the thought of enduring shame and beatings for the sake of the Demon King. Suddenly, a new idea occurred to Belial. If the Demon Lords truly needed money, perhaps she could help in some way. She didn't want to be separated from the Demon King. She approached Xia Ye and explained that if he needed money, she might have another solution. Excited by the prospect, Xia Ye asked Belial what that alternative might be. Belial suddenly transforms. While undergoing this transformation, a delivery boy arrives to deliver the food Xia Ye has ordered. Startled by the sudden change, the delivery boy catches a glimpse of something unexpected and cheers. "Good luck, boss!" He mentions that he'll leave the food near the entrance and departs. Feeling a bit embarrassed, Xia Ye hesitates, but then asks Belial for another way to earn money. Belial suggests, "Master, please witness my special ability." Intrigued, Xia Ye responds, "Special ability?" Belial concentrates intensely, and with a moan, exclaims, "Ah!" Suddenly, demon horns magically grow back. Without hesitation, Belial cuts off the newly grown horn and offers it to the Lord Demon King to be sold for money. Belial explains that the horns can regenerate once a day, allowing them to sell a pair each day. Despite Belial's plea not to be sold, Xia Ye gently touches her and reassures her, expressing disbelief at the thought of selling her with a silly expression on his face. Chapter 19. Moments later, Xia Ye and Belial continue their conversation. Belial inquires about their next plan, prompting Bao Bao to become alert. In Bao Bao's mind, if Belial asks such questions, the Demon Lord's cover might be compromised. However, Xia Ye casually responds, stating that the general gameplay involves leveling up and aiding dungeons. Due to his special situation, he emphasizes the need to survive. Belial, excited, interprets Xia Ye's response, asking if it means they should stay put and wait to see what happens. Xia Ye confirms her interpretation, adding that they also need to accumulate enough wealth to secure a boss seat in the final raid of the last dungeon. Xia Ye explains his plan to achieve this goal, purchasing raw materials from the trading house, processing them, and selling the finished products for labor fees. He notes the challenge of having unsellable items in his inventory and the low profits from selling items. With a smile, Xia Ye tells Belial that she is crucial to his success. Flattered and smitten, Belial pledges to do her best. However, from Xia Ye's perspective, every time he looks at Belial's horn, he sees dollar signs. The next morning, Xia Ye leaves his mansion to sell the horns he obtained from Belial. Belial is proud and happy to contribute to the Demon King's success. Meanwhile, on Roland Lee's side, the second high-level NPC arrives on Earth. Bishop Pucci, the bishop of the Mosi Church, greets Roland Lee, signaling the start of their counterattack. The crowd cheers in anticipation of fighting back. However, Bishop Pucci mocks Roland Lee, questioning the power of a baby Demon King. Pucci reveals that the initial attempt to kill the baby Demon King failed, accusing Roland Lee of offering lame excuses for the failure. Pucci questions Roland Lee's claim as mankind's hope. Suddenly, a messenger rushes in, reporting that a level 89 monster has appeared in the south, claiming to be a dragon but identified as a mutated lizard species. The messenger adds that 8 strongholds have been destroyed, with over 4,000 players and 89 NPCs killed in action, requesting immediate support. Thank you for joining me on another fun journey of I Am the Final Boss. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates. Your support fuels my passion to bring you more exciting content. Stay tuned for more captivating chapters only here on JockJut Manhwa. Until our next adventure together.
After receiving the distressing news about the disaster caused by the mutated lizard, Roland decided to depart. He informed Bishop Pucci that upon his return, he would demonstrate the folly of his arrogance. Roland also instructed his comrade to monitor the movements of the Demon King in his absence. To his comrade's surprise, Roland was asked if he wanted him to tail the Demon King. Roland scolded him, emphasizing the risk of being discovered if he followed the Demon King and suggested direct inquiry instead. Roland then handed him something significant to carry, the treasure of their family, the Saint Maya Dragon Claw. His comrade was astonished that Roland was giving away the Lee family's treasure, but Roland reassured him, stating that he had his father's permission. Roland further explained that by demonstrating sincerity, they might move the Demon King to reveal more information. In essence, Roland wanted his comrade to prevent the Demon King from causing harm to people while he was away. While observing, Bishop Pucci felt a sense of melancholy as he realized that mankind's hope had degenerated into a mere comic book character. After Roland's departure, His comrade made a personal vow to complete the assigned task and began preparing to leave. However, before he could depart, Bishop Pucci descended and expressed his desire to accompany him. Pucci explained that he wanted to witness firsthand the supposed invincibility of the Demon King. As they arrived at their destination, Bishop Pucci speculated that they had confined the Demon King to a room in this administration building. He also observed the vastness of the green zone, ensuring a safe distance to prevent the Demon King from harming others within the secure area. Pucci was impressed, thinking that they had planned this quite thoroughly. However, he was taken aback when his comrade revealed that the Demon King had not only purchased this entire building but also the adjacent garden. Pucci couldn't comprehend the idea of buying a house in the center of a safe zone. He pondered whether selling legendary equipment to a store for 680 gold coins could genuinely afford such a luxurious mansion in the heart of a safe zone. He found it obviously illogical. Belial, being the second-to-last boss in the final dungeon, dropped equipment that players theoretically wouldn't acquire until the later stages of the game. By that time, the 680 gold coins she generated wouldn't hold much value. In the early stages, you could obtain a mansion for less than 1,000 gold coins, but in the later stages, a staggering 71 billion gold coins would be required. This phenomenon is commonly referred to as inflation. Bishop Pucci pondered the nature of a Demon King investing in real estate within human territory. He considered the possibility that the Demon King might be accumulating funds to build an army and wreak havoc upon the world. Pucci commended the Demon King for displaying economic foresight in planning ahead. Intrigued by the Demon King's capabilities, Bishop Pucci instructed his comrade to summon the Demon King and have them come out to greet him. However, his comrade dismissed the notion, urging Pucci to refrain from making jokes and instead observe from a distance without engaging in any risky actions. Bishop Pucci retorted, questioning how a mass-produced NPC could teach him anything, dismissing it as merely some economic insight. He emphasized that he did not want the NPC to assume he approved of its judgment regarding the Demon King. Pucci continued, stating that upon his return to Sky City, he would report all incidents of Roland assisting the Demon King in purchasing a house to his superiors. However, when he looked behind him, the NPC was nowhere to be found. He was astonished to see the NPC presenting the gift, the Li family's treasure, the Saint Maya Dragon Claw, not to please the Demon King but to a minion. The NPC explained that Lord Roland had instructed him to bring this gift. The cat recipient expressed no recollection of Roland and inquired if the NPC had seen him before. Bishop Pucci contemplated that Roland must be irrational to use his family's greatest treasure to appease a creature that only engages in eating, sleeping, and licking. On the other hand, Bao Bao the cat considered cooperating with his master's plan to infiltrate the human race and decided to engage in conversation with the NPC for a while. Bao Bao informed the NPC that he now recalled Roland as the one who bullies the weak, fears the strong, and is harsh on his opponents. Expressing gratitude for the gift, Bao Bao mentioned that it was suitable for scratching his back and thanked the NPC. The NPC guy was pleased that Bao Bao the cat liked the gift, though he found it amusing that a legendary item would only be used for scratching. Bao Bao then inquired if there was anything else, prompting the NPC guy to mention that there were indeed some questions he needed to ask. However, Bishop Pucci could no longer tolerate it. He believed that if he didn't teach this ignorant creature a lesson, it would genuinely think it was superior. Summoning an energy ball to demonstrate human strength. Meanwhile, the NPC guy explained to Bao Bao that he simply wanted to inquire if Mr. Xia had any plans to destroy the world. Bao Bao responded by stating that they could discuss it later, as he suddenly had some work to attend to. As they gazed at the sky, a dragon, likely a mutated lizard, appeared. Bishop Pucci questioned the possibility of this, as Roland had gone to intervene. Concerned about Roland's whereabouts, Pucci wondered where he was. In the sky, the dragon continued to soar, and on the ground, Roland pursued it. The chase unfolded, with the dragon flying and Roland in hot pursuit on his bike. Roland eventually leapt from the bike, drew his sword, and launched an attack on the dragon. In response, the dragon flicked its tail back at Roland. Emerging from the ensuing smoke, Roland was miraculously still alive. However, the dragon struck him down, causing a painful impact as he fell to the ground amidst smoke and dust. Roland managed to rise from the smoky aftermath, only to realize that the dragon had already flown away. Roland contemplated that if he could confront the dragon directly, he had absolute confidence in winning. However, the dragon was clever, knowing how to circumvent Roland and head straight for the safe zone. The NPC guy and Bishop Pucci observed the dragon heading their way, growing anxious about what to do. Pucci reassured them, stating that even Roland couldn't stop this monster, but there was nothing to worry about since they were in a safe zone protected by the Burt Gang system. To their surprise, Pucci was shocked to witness the Burt Gang system's heart form. The NPC guy explained to Bishop Pucci that in Chapter 4, Lord Roland violently unleashed the Burt Gang system sanction against the Demon King, causing it to recoil inside Burt Gang and transform into its current form. Just as they absorbed this information, the dragon arrived in the safe zone and unleashed a powerful attack. Bishop Pucci realized that without Burt Gang's protection, the impending attack could potentially kill every low-level player in the safe zone. As they anxiously watched the dragon's devastating attack unfold, Pucci believed it was the end. However, just before the attack landed, the kitten's eyes suddenly lit up. The kitten fired a standard light cannon that struck the dragon. Those witnessing the event couldn't believe that with just one strike, the level 84 mutated lizard was instantly defeated within seconds. After the incident, the watch cat lay down and told the NPC guy that he could continue talking and inquired about what he had wanted to ask. However, the NPC guy's brain crashed, and he completely forgot his initial question. Meanwhile, Bishop Pucci was relieved that he didn't have to reveal his own attack and expressed gratitude to the Lord God for watching over him. Suddenly, he offered Bao Bao the cross that had been passed down through generations in his family as a gift. Additionally, he handed over his property home certificate and his pension account. Bishop Pucci assured the NPC guy that he would help him with any important questions he had. This situation finally helped Bishop Pucci gain a better understanding, and the NPC guy believed that Roland would be pleased to hear about it. As Bao Bao prompted them to ask what they wanted to know, he clarified that he didn't know everything, as he was just a watch cat. The NPC guy then stated that he only wanted to inquire about whether they planned to massacre the entire safe zone, destroy the world, or engage in some other event that required humans to fight to the death for defense. This way, humans could prepare themselves ahead of time. Bishop Pucci was shocked to hear such a question. Bao Bao the cat responded with a reassuring, "Not yet," explaining that the Lord Demon King only aimed to make some money in the short term, which pleased the NPC guy. After receiving the answer to his question, they were promptly ordered to leave, and the NPC guy turned his back immediately. Bishop Pucci couldn't believe that all the gifts were offered for just this one question. However, the NPC guy felt satisfied, having completed his mission, ensuring that at least the world wouldn't end today. When Xiao returned home, he wondered why his cat was outside. The cat promptly jumped onto his shoulder, giving Xiao the impression that he was missed. Xiao reciprocated the sentiment, expressing that he missed the cat too. However, upon entering the building, Xiao noticed the cat's poop on the side and scolded the cat, reminding him not to poop inside the house. Frustrated, Xiao threw the cat outside as a punishment, instructing him to sleep there for the night. Xiao's mood soured due to the cat's repeated disobedience. However, his mood took a sudden turn when he entered his room and found Belial welcoming him. She informed him that she would take her master to bed. As they lay on the bed, Xiao explained to Belial that it wasn't a good idea to sleep in their current arrangement. Consequently, Belial changed her size, becoming smaller, and they went to sleep together. Meanwhile, the powerful cat that had defeated a level 84 mutated monster with a single move remained outside, sleepless all night, with dried tears on its fur. Upon waking up in the morning, Xiao found himself captivated by Belial's beauty. While looking under the pillow, he discovered a diary and pondered how pets in the game could keep such realistic diaries. As he began reading, Xiao noticed Belial's strong affection for the Demon King. However, as he continued, the contents of the diary took a darker turn, detailing inhuman deeds that left him frozen. Hastily, he flipped through the pages until he decided to put the diary back under the pillow, realizing that he had almost forgotten that Belial was a truly frightening demon. It dawned on Xiao that Belial had intentionally left her diary there for the Demon King to see. The entries spoke of her love, determination, and courage, sentiments she couldn't express directly. That night, Belial was instructed to sleep outside, while Bao Bao, who remained the more trustworthy companion in Xiao's eyes, slept next to his master. After the class advancement, their fighting abilities experienced a significant improvement. Xia Ye not only tended to their injuries but also elevated their levels and attributes through class advancement. It was precisely the kind of advantage a cheat could provide. In essence, Lu Ju believed they were going to become the Demon King's lapdogs. However, Qin Horan countered, stating that they only needed to align with the right side, and the victory of the Demon King's party would be theirs. Meanwhile, Xiao Yuan noticed something descending from above. It was hard to discern, prompting Lu Ju to activate her skill, Gunner's Eye, to see it clearly. Through her enhanced vision, she identified a very young but high-ranked demon, Babylon, one of the 7 heavenly kings of the Demon Clan. Babylon was a boss with a level of 101. The Demon Clan had deployed all their troops to Earth, but they couldn't locate their Lord Demon King. Babylon pondered that if Roland was involved in the Demon King's disappearance, she would capture him and seek answers. Lu Ju observed that the target was heading towards the Kanchin safe zone, presumably searching for the Lord Demon King. Chen Horan thought that she might be a colleague and saw this as an opportunity to make friends. He suggested that they go and greet her. While flying, Babylon noticed a player party waving at her. She wondered if they were aware of her passing by and setting up an ambush. Surprised by the player party's level, which was already 24, considering it had been less than 3 days since the server launch, Babylon thought they could pose a significant threat if not dealt with immediately. With that in mind, she planned on taking action to eliminate them. While Chen Horan innocently asked Babylon if she was here to see Lord Xia, unaware of her intention to kill him, he was forcefully blown away into a building. Lu Ju attempted to intervene, trying to explain that they were actually on the same side, but she couldn't get the words out as Babylon continued her assault, determined to eliminate them one by one. When Xiao Yuan attempted to use her healing ability, Babylon had no intention of giving her the chance and swiftly attacked her. However, her attack was unexpectedly blocked by Enlu, an assassin. Babylon was astonished that an assassin was using a shield, finding it difficult to comprehend how it was possible. Despite wielding a shield, Babylon believed it would be impossible for Enlu to withstand her direct attack. To her surprise, upon inspecting Enlu's hand, she found a roasted chicken. Chen Horan activated his rogue passive, Cockroach Will, granting him immunity to lethal attacks with a cooldown of 30 days. He then used an intermediate recovery potion to restore 500 HP. While in the process of recovery, Chen Horan suggested to Enlu that they quickly inform Babylon about their allegiance. Enlu took the opportunity to explain to Babylon that the roast chicken she held was not an ordinary one but a gift from their Lord Xia Ye. Using the roast chicken as an unconventional weapon, she attacked Babylon, asserting that it represented her body and soul, proof of her allegiance to Lord Xia Ye. Enlu went on to declare it as the supreme treasure of the world, dubbing it Chicalibur, or Excalibur chicken. Xiao Yuan found it hard to believe that an ordinary-looking grilled chicken could repel a level 101 great demon, while Enlu speculated that Lord Xia Ye had anticipated this crisis and gifted her this treasure. Chen Horan then shouted at Enlu, reminding her that if she had time to say so many lines, she should make it clear that they were also from the Demon King's camp. Caught off guard, Babylon couldn't comprehend how a player below level 30 possessed such extraordinary power. She pondered if Enlu was utilizing some kind of cheat, realizing that she couldn't afford to fall in battle because she needed to find the Lord Demon King. Babylon powered up, transforming into Boss Babylon and entering a second phase. Aware that they couldn't let her go berserk, as it would complicate communication, Chen Horan advised Xiao Yuan not to panic, assuring them that they knew where the Demon King was. On the other side, while Belial was giving Bao Bao a massage, she noticed something that seemed familiar but couldn't quite remember. Bao Bao also thought he had seen it in an anime. Meanwhile, as their group faced danger, Chen Horan informed Boss Babylon that they knew the location of the Demon King, causing her transformation to halt. Chen Horan then instructed Xiao Yuan to explain everything. However, upon hearing the story, Boss Babylon grew upset, accusing them of cheating and attempting to deceive her. She demanded that they come up with a more logical and believable tale, as the current one was too outrageous to be believed. Before she could unleash her attack in frustration, Chen Horan asserted that they had proof. He showed Babylon a group picture featuring the Demon King. Comparing it with Belial's drawing, Babylon concluded that they did not match, leading Belial to believe that they had been lying to her. Insulted and furious, Babylon directly entered the third phase. Babylon, thinking that the humans dared to use such cheats to ambush her, decided to unleash her power to level 100 miles of the land and destroy them. With negotiations having failed, Chen Horan ordered Enlu to interrupt Babylon. However, Lord Xia Ye's gift to her was broken in the process. Lu Ju withdrew from the group, and Chen Horan believed they were in serious trouble. Unexpectedly, Babylon's powerful attack was interrupted by Bao Bao and Belial. Bao Bao implored Babylon to cease her destructive actions, emphasizing that she was jeopardizing Lord Demon King's plan by causing a commotion. However, Boss Babylon persisted in her relentless attacks, releasing bullets and missiles. Amidst the chaos, Bao Bao continued to dodge the onslaught and explained that the Lord Demon King had disguised himself as a human, lurking in the city with more comprehensive strategies and plans. Bao Bao promised Babylon that if she stopped her assault, he would lead her to the Demon King. Despite Bao Bao's attempts to communicate with the mutated Babylon, he couldn't get her to stop, as if she had lost her mind. They realized it was challenging to establish communication with her. From Babylon's perspective, all she could hear was a cat's meow, and she couldn't understand it at all. This frustration irritated Bao Bao, prompting him to transform into a different form. In just an instant, he destroyed Babylon's giant form. Meanwhile, on the other side, Xia Ye was enjoying a cool breeze and a peaceful day. He was delighted to have sold 2 great demons' horns, obtaining 12 golds and 98 silvers. After the massive explosion, Bao Bao and Belial approached Babylon, asking if she could now listen to them. However, from Babylon's perspective, all she heard was a meow, and she mentioned that she couldn't understand cat language. It turned out that Bao Bao had forgotten to switch languages after meeting his master. Bao Bao questioned Belial about why she hadn't reminded him earlier, and Belial responded that she had forgotten she could talk, completely immersing herself in her role as a mount. Babylon just realized that the girl beside the cat was Belial. She then urged Belial to join her in saving the Lord Demon King and destroying the safe zone. However, Bao Bao remarked that he believed Babylon truly wanted to die. The human party was relieved that they had survived once again. Watching from afar, Lu Ju was surprised that it looked like a fat house cat. In reality, it was an unfathomable monster, and with a single counterattack, it had taken down the level 101 boss demon. They found it hard to believe how powerful it was. Lu Ju also couldn't help but think that they had survived at that moment thanks to Lord Xia Ye's gift. And Lu remained sad that Lord Xia Ye's gift had turned to dust. When Xia Ye returned, he went looking for Bao Bao and Belial, wondering where they had gone off to play. Despite the chaotic world around him, he believed that nothing significant would happen. Suddenly, Xia heard a doorbell. Upon checking the visitors, he realized it was the group of individuals who had taken him to the dungeon last time. Xia expressed his gratitude to them for saving his pet, Bao Bao, and bringing them back. Qin Horan casually mentioned that it was just a coincidence, a piece of cake, and Mr. Xia didn't need to be so polite, considering he was the one who was saved. Xia then took Qin Horan's hand and told him there was no need for such formality, declaring that they were friends from now on. Xia invited everyone to come inside and take a seat. Qin Horan mentioned that they had actually brought a little gift. Intrigued, Xia asked what the gift was. Qin Horan revealed that it was a little pet from the wild, thinking that Xia might like it. He then introduced Babylon, at level 1, to Xia. Upon seeing Xia, Babylon's eyes lit up brightly, realizing that she had finally met her Lord Demon King. And here concludes the latest chapter of our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated for the next chapters. Thank you so much for watching.
Xia looks at Babylon sitting on Qin's hand, inwardly asking if that's another demon before worriedly remembering Belial's diary and asking why he brought it here. He politely says he's not really in a position to take care of so many pets owing to his current condition, and he might as well keep it for himself, remarking that he doesn't want it in short. Babylon tearfully wonders why he rejected her and asks herself what she should do, and if she doesn't deserve to stay by Lord Demon King's side before stoning herself and deciding that she has to do something. She holds out 2 great demon's horns. Seeing them, Xia asks what this is, to which she answers that she can produce 3 pairs a day since she has a fast metabolism, and asks him to please accept them. Xia looks worried for a second before thanking her a lot and telling them all to come in and sit down as Pet Babylon joins Xia Ye's collection, and at a price of 12 gold and 98 silver per day, she has become the new heroine. Xia tells them to not mind since his place is a bit messy, which Qin politely denies, stepping over the threshold and says he's too polite. He and his friends immediately feel a sudden sensation before his companion shakily asks Xia what it was. He asks if this is so much stuff that it scares them and says they are some beginner weapons he made when he was practicing forging. Qin looks at the weapons in shock. repeating the fact that he called them beginner weapons, so Xia shows him some beginner armor he made as well and blows him away. Then he shows them a long row and explains that these are the dolls he made when he was practicing sculpting and asks if they're cute. Seeing the horrifying faces, Qin repeats the word cute and says they're really cute, inwardly freaking out and questioning what kind of house this is, calling it an armory. Xia says he originally wanted to sell them on the market, but he realized that selling them cheaply would be a loss and selling them expensively would be a stagnant business, so he had no choice but to pile them up at home, to which Qin shakily asks if it's like that. He tells them that they can take whatever they like, but only the beginner ones in the lobby, since he plans to sell the intermediate and advanced ones later, hearing which Qin wonders in shock if they're all just beginners before catching himself, and saying that even a roast chicken can be super powerful, so it wouldn't be surprising if he successfully forged heaven-defying equipment, so there's nothing to be worried about because it all makes sense. Qin asks how he can take it so casually, to which Xia answers that he's sure the rewards they get for killing monsters are much more impressive than what he does, so Qin laughs and says he's joking before suddenly stopping. He worryingly looks at the sofa and bewilderingly says it's also a magic item. Xia says he made the sofa himself and tells him to take a seat, which Qin slowly agrees to, inwardly saying it's not just the sofa, it's the ceilings, floor, coffee table, windows and floor, and even the water they've been given. It's all full of evil magic. Xia says he opened a well in the backyard to save some water bills, so the tea was brewed with well water. Qin worryingly calls it the Well of Eternity and remarks that it's super awesome, since combined with the feeling he got when he first entered the building, it's possible that this whole house has turned into a magical weapon, and completely understands now if he hadn't done so before. With such a powerful existence, they must surrender to him, make him accept them and join his army in order to survive in this world. Xia tells them all to have some tea before remarking that he heard there was a fierce battle not far from the safe zone, asking if they got Babylon from there, which Qin hesitantly agrees to, as Xia calls it amazing, since it was such a fierce battle. He says the result is fortunately good, since they arrived at his house and are having tea with him, to which Qin reports that they came here right away without a moment's delay. Xia says they must have eaten the roast chicken he gave them last time. Qin's companion inwardly praises him for already knowing what happened and must be aware that she used the chickaliber. She says she did so. Xia answers he still has a lot left and can share some of it with her, since keeping it takes up a lot of space, sending everyone 20 roasted chickens. Seeing this, Qin's companion remarks that he gave them each 20 of the chickalibers despite it being such a precious treasure, and vows to not let him down on her teammates' behalf as well. Qin remarks that though his teammates are a bit sick, he'll put up with it, since there's no problem as long as the Demon King approves, so they can stand firmly on the winning side until the game ends. They see someone at the door, so Xia goes out to greet brother Roland there, who says he came here to comfort him since he heard there was a small battle outside just now. He asks if everything okay on his end and tells him to contact him anytime if he needs any help. He enters the house and distressingly questions if the whole building has become a magic weapon. Looking at the different weaponry Xia has prepared, he says that he really is preparing for Armageddon, wondering if they did something wrong to upset him. As he sees Qin's team, Roland wonders why the team that cleared the Qingjing apartment dungeon is in the Demon King's home, before deciding on the fact that they noticed the abnormality before he did and came here to find out, complimenting the #1 human team. He gives Qin a thumbs up, inwardly getting ready to work together to stop the Demon King from destroying the human realm.
Xia Ye realized that Roland knew Qin Horan and his group, which Roland confirmed. Xia Ye then told Roland that Qin Horan's group was responsible for ending the big battle. He added that surviving the battle must have been difficult and likely caused many casualties. Roland wondered whether Xia Ye's comments were a deliberate attempt to mock them. Xia Ye expressed his feeling that the world is so interesting, yet he doesn't want it to be destroyed. He admitted his powerlessness and said he could only rely on Roland to save the world. Roland found Xia Ye's words puzzling, interpreting them as a sign of boredom and a desire to destroy the world. Roland decided to propose something to engage Xia Ye's interest. He asked Xia Ye if he found the elves intriguing. Xia Ye was curious and questioned whether the game still featured an elven race. Roland revealed that there was an uncharted area known as the Ancient Elven Kingdom and suggested they could explore it. Xia Ye showed immediate interest and expressed his eagerness to visit the kingdom if given the opportunity. Roland, pleased by Xia Ye's enthusiasm, assured him that he would capture an elf for him. Xia Ye was taken aback by Roland's willingness to catch an elf, which he found unexpected. Qin Horan was impressed by Roland's performance, though he recognized how the hopes of humanity seemed so fragile compared to the might of the Demon King. Xia Ye, on the other hand, appreciated how highly Roland thought of him, even though he considered himself merely a powerless novice. Xia Ye then suggested that Roland should view Qin Horan more optimistically if he hoped to secure humanity's future. He pointed to Qin Horan, stating that he was the best player. Qin Horan was taken aback by Xia Ye's remark, wondering if Lord Xia Ye misunderstood his actual relationship with Roland. Roland then said that as expected of Lord Xia Ye, Roland can't hide anything from him. He revealed that he did establish a deep partnership with the human #1 team. And that now that Xia Ye have found out, he questioned if there's no point in hiding it. Roland added that now that he's been found out, he will be honest. Hearing that made Xia Ye feels great, as he told Roland, they are made for each other. Roland then said that they are leaving now, so Xia Ye told them to feel free to visit again. After Xia Ye closed the door, Qin Horan seemed upset, possibly due to a misunderstanding about being perceived as enemies. Noticing his expression, Roland tried to reassure him, suggesting that Qin Horan might be shaken by the sheer evil and arrogance of the Demon King. Roland added that there was no reason to be so scared, as the Demon King was aware of their partnership and there was nothing they could do about it. He believed they simply needed to retrieve an elf for their plan to succeed. However, Qin Horan abruptly punched the wall behind Roland, actually hitting a poster on the wall. Qin Horan confronted Roland, asking, "Boy, did you do that on purpose?" Roland was surprised by being addressed as boy, and found it intriguing. He told Qin Horan that he was the first person to speak to him like that since he was a child. Roland expressed curiosity about Qin Horan's confidence and wondered how he dared to challenge him. In response, Qin Horan declared he would demonstrate his abilities and summoned his weapon. When Roland saw the roasted chicken, he was puzzled, wondering what it was all about. Qin Horan asked if Roland was impressed, but Roland responded with a polite thank you and said he wasn't hungry. Lu Ju then spoke up, telling her captain that she normally wouldn't say anything, but she found Qin Horan's actions too foolish to ignore. Qin Horan cut her off, telling her to be quiet because he knew what she was about to say. He acknowledged that they couldn't afford to engage in a fight with Roland, as it could jeopardize the Demon King's plan to infiltrate the human race. Realizing this, he took a step back to avoid causing any conflict. Roland stated that he didn't understand why Qin Horan was upset and told him he should be honored to work with Roland, the hope of humanity. Qin Horan responded with skepticism, asking what exactly Roland wanted to work with him for. Roland explained that he planned to enter a map that had not yet been unlocked and capture an elf to present to the Demon King. This, Roland believed, would delay the Demon King's plan to destroy the world. Hearing Roland's explanation made Qin Horan question Roland's intentions. Xiao Yuan whispered to Qin Horan that when they were in the Devil House, Lord Xia Ye seemed to want them to work with Roland. Lu Ju speculated that the Demon King might have a plan beyond their understanding. However, Qin Horan knew Xia Ye was the Demon King and that his words and actions held significant weight for the survival of the world, making him skeptical that Xia Ye would joke about such a serious matter. And Lu suggested that the Demon King might be directing them to eliminate Roland. Roland observed the secretive conversation of Qin Horan's team and wondered how it went. He then asked Qin Horan if they were willing to work together with him. Roland explained that humans could not afford to anger the Demon King in the short term, though it was not a viable long-term strategy either. Only when human players grew stronger would they be able to fight back. Roland believed in the boundless potential of players, especially considering Qin Horan's team the best of the players, worthy of nurturing. He told them that if they joined him, they would gain rewards far exceeding their current expectations, including women, experience, equipment, and money. Roland then asked Chin Horan what he thought, suggesting it should be a big temptation. Chin Horan agreed to the deal but told Roland that there was no need for a handshake, as he was concerned about Lord Xia Ye potentially misunderstanding their agreement. While observing them from his window, Xia Ye felt pleased, thinking that Roland and Chin Horan's team appeared to genuinely get along. He realized the importance of keeping Roland and the top human team on his side, as he wouldn't know who to rely on in times of trouble without them. Xia Ye chuckled to himself, thinking he was a genius for forging this alliance. Bao Bao the cat and the two-level boss demons, although unaware of the Demon King's exact plans, agreed that he was a genius as well. Upon arriving at their destination, Chin Horan asked Roland if this was the place he had described. Roland confirmed, explaining that this was not a typical dungeon, but rather an unopened map section known as the Ancient Elven Kingdom. It was a restricted area with a level 92, where they planned to infiltrate. Roland admitted he didn't know exactly what was behind the door, but he was certain the monsters inside were far more powerful than any in the current version of the game and might even surpass the demon race that had descended on Earth. He explained that the elves were a side race that once coexisted with humans and demons in their world. As Chin Horan listened to Roland's explanation, he began to understand the context better. Roland went on to say that the elves were more than just humans and demons in this world. He asked Chin Horan if he had read the main story, as the information was included there. Chin Horan admitted he had skipped all the narrative elements to advance quickly, explaining that it was the only way he could stay ahead of the competition. Roland explained the setting of their world. Humanity's skills and technology originated from god Moxie, who used his divine power to combat the brutal demon race. The world had been embroiled in war for thousands of years. During this time, races that couldn't compete with humans and demons for survival resources gradually became extinct. However, there was another race capable of rivaling humans and demons, the elves, who could harness the power of nature. This energy was potent enough to tip the balance in the ongoing conflict. But the elf princess, unwilling to align with either side, sacrificed herself to seal the power of the elves. As a result, the elves became creatures of legend. Roland informed them that beyond the gate lay the ancient Elven Kingdom, the place where the elves once lived. He cautioned them that players were strongly advised against entering the area. Chin Horan was struck by the seriousness of the warnings, which were different from the standard in-game dialogue boxes. Roland believed the risk was worth taking if it made the Demon King happy. He revealed that he had brought all of his family's treasures to ensure they were well prepared, even if not as much as they would have been in the past. To please the Demon King, Roland, the hope of humanity, had amassed a collection of sinister items and assembled a group of villains to hack into the restricted area in search of. Roland shared only part of the story with them but reassured them that he would handle the fighting himself. He also clarified that he would give them all the equipment, experience, money, and items they earned from the quest. This made Chin Horan incredibly happy, as he eagerly anticipated the rewards. Roland felt satisfied that Chin Horan had finally recognized the benefits of his assistance, even though Chin Horan had been nasty, rude, and disrespectful in the past. Despite this behavior, Roland acknowledged Chin Horan's exceptional abilities and promised to cultivate him further. However, Roland emphasized that given the unknown dangers ahead, they must conserve their resources and proceed with caution. Roland advised the group to avoid entering battle unless absolutely necessary. However, they were interrupted by a system prompt that said, "Enter battle. Enemy, a class monster." Despite Roland's caution, Xiao Yuan had inadvertently triggered a trap. A level 102 bloody owl beast appeared before them, warning the humans not to disturb the elves and threatening them with death if they did not leave, and if they obey, their lives will be spared. The monster blushed when Xiao Yuan suddenly apologized and took full responsibility for triggering the trap. She earnestly begged the monster not to be angry and offered herself as a way to make amends. However, Roland stepped in and instructed the group to step back, promising to handle the situation himself. Chin Horan and his team quickly pulled Xiao Yuan back, much to Roland's slight disappointment, even though he had asked them to move away. Roland took out the Li family's greatest treasure, an S-rank demon item called the Inferno Breakthrough Module. He activated it, granting himself a 30% increase in all attributes for 5 minutes. However, the item also put him in a weakened state, reducing his movement speed by 45% for 30 seconds. Roland began attacking the bloody owl beast, and Chin Horan's team watched in disbelief as Roland successfully suppressed the powerful boss. Despite their awe at his strength, Chin Horan questioned why the hope of humanity was using a demon item. Xiao Yuan questioned whether they should help Roland, but when she looked at her comrades, she saw that they weren't taking any action. When she asked them what they were doing, Chin Horan nonchalantly replied that he was just lying down and asked Xiao Yuan what the issue was. She was taken aback by how easily Chin Horan dismissed her concern. As Roland attempted to finish off the monster, which was now at its last 1% of health, the bloody owl beast became fearful and pleaded with Roland not to come near. Unexpectedly, Roland's buff suddenly wore off. Seeing Roland's buff abruptly end and the bloody owl beast attack him, smashing him to the ground, Xiao Yuan feared for Roland's life and insisted that they must help him. Before the monster could land another attack on Roland, it noticed a shadow emerging from the smoke. Chin Horan stepped forward, holding the roasted chicken. Roland, bewildered, questioned what Chin Horan was doing, considering him no match for the monster and confused as to why he had brought out the roasted chicken again. However, Chin Horan didn't respond to Roland's comments and instead rushed towards the monster. Roland was incredulous that Chin Horan would confront the monster, wondering if Chin Horan intended to bribe the monster with food. He called Chin Horan an idiot and told him to retreat. Despite acknowledging Chin Horan's unique ideas, Roland advised him to observe the monster boss more closely. He wondered whether the monster was a type that enjoyed eating roasted chicken. As Chin Horan approached the bloody owl beast, the monster questioned what a level 26 player was doing trying to confront him. The monster lifted its hammer to strike Chin Horan, but before it could attack, Chin Horan struck first with the enhanced roasted chicken. The attack was effective, resulting in Chin Horan decapitating the entire boss. Witnessing this scene left Roland confused, while Lu Ju and Xiao Yuan were amazed by the power of the artifact gifted by the Demon Lord. Roland grabbed Chin Horan by the collar and scolded him for not providing such a powerful artifact earlier. Chin Horan responded that Roland had claimed to be well prepared, implying he didn't think Roland needed the artifact. Roland released his grip on Chin Horan and acknowledged the truth of his statement. He reasoned that he could handle the monster in a weakened state on his own, as he was confident in his ability to endure a beating. After defeating the bloody owl beast, the group went to check the rewards for killing the boss. Roland told Chin Horan that the rewards were all his while he used rune cloth bandages to heal himself, restoring 40% of his health. Chin Horan eagerly opened the rewards and was amazed by what he found. The rewards were exceptionally valuable, with enough money to make a fortune in the early stages of their journey and elemental ore and earth source materials that would be essential for upgrading their equipment in the later stages. Despite the high quality of the rewards, Chin Horan was somewhat disappointed. Compared to the enhanced roasted chicken artifact given by the Demon King, the rewards seemed lackluster and unremarkable in his eyes. As Chin Horan and his team discussed the rewards, Chin Horan mentioned that exchanging a roasted chicken for all the rewards felt like a bit of a loss, but he conceded that it was better than nothing. Roland suddenly had a thought. The item Chin Horan had just used was extremely powerful and not an ordinary artifact. He questioned Chin Horan about its origin, doubting that the Demon King had simply given it to him. Roland was skeptical about the origin of the powerful artifact and questioned whether it was truly from the Demon King. Nervous, Xiao Yuan quickly responded that they had picked up a rare treasure chest during their grinding. She explained that they had to pay 998 coins to open the chest and received a powerful item in return. She claimed that they had been incredibly lucky. Chin Horan supported Xiao Yuan's explanation, agreeing with her account. However, Lu Ju remained doubtful of their story. She pointed out that finding an item of such power in a level 20 leveling ground, an item that could easily kill a level 100 monster, sounded far too improbable. Only a fool would believe such an extraordinary tale. After hearing their explanations, Roland remained silent for a moment, which made Lu Ju uneasy. She feared that this might lead to a conflict, but she was surprised when Roland accepted their explanation without question. He told them to split the rewards and mentioned that he would check the path ahead first. Lu Ju was left questioning Roland's judgment and wondered if he might be an idiot for so easily believing their story. Chin Horan told Lu Ju that Roland's behavior reminded him of something important. When Lu Ju asked him what he meant, Qin Horan explained that it wasn't typical for the Demon King to give them such a powerful item. He suspected that the Demon King must really want them to obtain an elf, which is why he provided them with items to help them defeat the monsters. Qin Horan and Lu Ju speculated that the Demon King anticipated the difficulty of the ancient Elven Kingdom map and knew they would struggle to conquer it on their own. This explanation made sense to Lu Ju, reinforcing their belief that they must find the elves to demonstrate their sincerity to Lord Xia Ye. Xiao Yuan listened to her two comrades and, unable to think of anything to add, simply smiled in agreement with their conclusion. Upon moving forward, they encountered the fallen guardian of the throne, an A-class monster at level 108. The monster immediately attacked Qin Horan and Roland, but both of them successfully dodged its attacks. They worked together efficiently and managed to easily defeat the monster. The defeated monster couldn't believe what had happened and quickly reported to the system about the suspected illegal gameplay. High-level NPCs hacking into restricted areas with a small number of players and using unknown items. After receiving the report and verifying it, the system deducted 4 character points from the players involved but took no further action. Moving forward, they reached the location of the throne of the elves. Roland speculated that if any elves were still alive, there would likely be clues inside the throne room. He explained that elves had sealed themselves off to prevent their power and treasures from falling into the hands of other races, so there could be unforeseen dangers ahead. He warned them not to make the same mistake of triggering another trap as they did earlier. However, just as he issued the warning, they were interrupted by a system prompt. Warning. Enter the battle. Despite Roland's warnings, it happened again. Frustrated, Roland turned to Qin Horan and demanded whether he could be more cautious and professional. Then, he turned his attention to Xiao Yuan, suspecting she might have triggered another trap. Xiao Yuan quickly defended herself, explaining that she hadn't moved on her own to avoid stepping on any traps. Moments later, a giant monster appeared in front of them. The monster warned the ignorant human intruders against daring to disturb the elves' sleep. The monster told them that this was their last warning and ordered them to leave and never return. It added that if they obeyed, their lives would be spared. After hearing that, Roland said he thought he had heard this line somewhere before. The monster couldn't accept what Roland said and tried another line, saying, "Ignorance will lead you to death. Come, mortals. Feel my wrath." After hearing that, Qin Horan said it was similar to a game he used to play. Qin Horan questioned whether it was plagiarism. The monster tried to consider the question and told them to wait a little longer. However, while the monster was thinking of a new line, they saw the source of its power hiding behind the falls and easily caught her. Once caught, the little girl cried non-stop, becoming quite noisy. After breaking the illusion of the Elven throne, the whole team gained massive experience and leveled up by 1 level each. Qin Horan also obtained the item, 3D projector. Roland noticed that the portal had opened and commented that it seemed to be the prerequisite level for the elves' throne. They were surprised by how low the difficulty level was and thought it might be a mini-game because it was so weak. Hearing these words made the little girl feel insulted. She explained that she was just a clone of the master, and her master was the most powerful elf in the kingdom. After the princess's death, the kingdom was destroyed, and everyone perished except for the master, who has protected the kingdom for 1,000 years. She is the most powerful elf and has safeguarded the elf's legacy, preventing anyone from coveting it. Hearing this story intrigued Roland and Qin Horan even more, as they learned that the master was an elf. They felt that their efforts had not been in vain. They then asked the little girl about the elf's whereabouts. She explained that her master, while walking, saw a strange mushroom and tasted it. Tragically, she died from ingesting a poisonous mushroom. Moving inside, they encountered an S-class, level 101 soul named Wrath Mars. They were puzzled as to why it was a soul, questioning whether this meant she was dead. They wondered if the Demon King had made them come all this way for nothing, which seemed too improbable to believe. Ronald found it hard to accept because, without external harm, an elf should be immortal. He observed that the illusion guarding the area had dissipated when they entered, and there were no signs of a struggle near the throne, suggesting it wasn't a murder. They then discovered her body. Roland speculated that she had guarded the kingdom alone for thousands of years, eroded by loneliness as she journeyed through the long passage of time. This isolation might have led her to gradually lose herself, with her soul fracturing into malevolent thoughts. Her body and benevolent thoughts had slipped into a deep sleep. To clear the dungeon, they needed to defeat her evil thoughts and awaken her. Listening to Roland, the little girl couldn't believe he had misunderstood everything. She knew that it wasn't a body, it was a corpse. Roland then asked the little girl how accurate his speculation had been. The little girl responded that his reasoning was impeccable and praised Roland for his intelligence. But to Roland, this elf warrior was different from the ordinary A-class monsters he had encountered before. He wasn't sure he could defeat an S-class monster. He turned to Chin Horan and asked for his opinion on their next move. Chin Horan admitted that he was out of items, leaving Roland with no choice but to use the strongest item he had brought to ambush the Demon King, though he had yet to use it. As the monster spotted the intruders, she declared that she would use their blood to quell her wrath. However, as she began to power up, she abruptly stopped upon noticing something on the ground. Wrath Mars was intrigued by the item in front of her. She assumed that anything left on the ground must be meant to be stepped on. Suddenly, the item expanded. Roland explained that he had intended to use it against the Demon King. It was one of his family's greatest treasures, an S-grade plague trap. This trap harnesses the power of the first 4 demons to unleash a plague that inflicts massive true damage and exerts control over the target. The drawback is its excruciating pain, which is worse than death and impossible to resist. Chin Horan questioned how Roland's family could have passed down such a dreadful weapon from generation to generation. Roland explained that his family had been battling demons for many generations and had been collecting valuable items from the demons they had defeated. Despite Roland's explanation, Chin Horan couldn't shake the feeling of unease. Obtaining and using are 2 different things. Wrath Mars was captured and rendered powerless by the plague, enduring excruciating pain. Knowing she was subdued, Roland seized the opportunity and charged toward Wrath Mars to attack her. As he got closer, Wrath Mars thought he looked like a high-level human NPC, but upon seeing his expression, she wondered if he was, in fact, a real devil. The little girl also noticed Roland's sinister laugh, which she found outrageous. An NPC would lead a group of players to bully an elf. Chin Horan didn't expect Roland to be so formidable at full strength and realized he had previously underestimated Roland as the humanity's best hope. When Chin Horan mentioned humanity's hope, the little girl was taken aback. She shared that not long ago, they had received a prophecy. When the 2 worlds merge, a brave man would emerge to lead the players in defeating the demon race and vanquishing the Demon King. This individual was known as humanity's hope. The little girl began to wonder if Roland could actually be the one from the prophecy, but she quickly dismissed the thought, finding it easier to embrace despair. The restrained Wrath Mars warned Roland not to underestimate her will, which had allowed her to endure for 1,000 years. She then managed to break free from the trap. Roland wondered if the plague trap had run its course, as its duration seemed to have ended. He regretted that the damage was slightly insufficient, as Wrath Mars still had 3% of her health remaining. Wrath Mars was infuriated by Roland's actions, as he had taken away the child they had fought so hard to protect. Despite being the strongest elf warrior in the world, she may have forgotten that she had been poisoned by eating mushrooms. The battle concluded with Roland emerging victorious. And that concludes the latest chapter of our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated for the next chapters. Thank you so much for watching.